All right, Stochastic, here we go. It's your old pal EMac coming to you on a Sunday evening. We have NBA Game 3 Eastern Conference Finals. No Tyrese Halliburton. Partial Drew Holiday. It's going to be a wild one. We have the Pacers frisky in that first game, coming off a long second round series. Went to overtime and lost. Had a moment where they had the lead in the first quarter of game two, ultimately lost. Still only a 7.5 average game lead or average point lead for the game for the Celtics. And then tonight they're without arguably their best player. So Matt, what are we going to do here? 222 point total. That was a little surprising as well.
Well, first things first, we got to make sure we're on the same page. It is Saturday night, correct? Not Sunday.
Yes. Oh, sorry. Did I say Sunday? It's too many Sunday night football NFL showdowns. It's muscle memory.
Trust me, I get it. All the days blend together for me too. So I just wanted to make sure. Yeah. Should be a fun slate. Eastern Conference games haven't been as exciting as the Western Conference, but I think this is a classic case of teams going to get up and play really hard without their best player. And I think Indy could steal this one.
All right. Well, that will make it exciting if that does come to fruition. There are a lot of decision points here. The key things that we want to know and I pulled up some of these numbers here, so I thought we'd go over them now before we get the starting lineup. But the biggest change that we get when Halliburton is off the court versus on the court happens with Andrew Nembhard. So he goes from a 14.5 point usage rate, and this includes the regular season and the playoffs, 14.5% usage rate to 20.3. And his assist rate nearly doubles from 16.2 to 31.2. So he's a dramatic difference. A little bit for TJ McConnell, but he kind of is going to do what he's going to do anyway. He'll get some of those backdoor shots. He'll miss a couple threes. He won't take, or he may not even take any. He'll take some tonight, but he is not really a good three-point shooter. And he's comfortable rebounding, getting steals and assists. So he doesn't always look for his shot. So it'll be interesting. I'm assuming he goes into the starting lineup. We could see perhaps a Ben Shepherd maybe get in there. That just seems kind of a little bit of a fancy play syndrome here, but it wasn't always McConnell starting when Holiday was injured throughout the year. Of course, Benedict Mathurin is injured as well, so that takes one of the other potential options, but Nembhard could be the nominal point guard if they decided to keep McConnell off the bench. But those are going to be the guys that play a ton of minutes. No matter how it shakes out. So how are you feeling about McConnell? I'm not even worried whether he starts or not.
I mean, I would be shocked if he doesn't start here, just considering.
And we should know in about 10 minutes anyway, but.
Just all things considered, yeah. You mentioned no Mathurin. He looks like the best play on the slate. I mean, he projects for more fantasy points than Derek White, slightly under Jaylen Brown. Like, hard for me to get away from McConnell here.
Yeah, and I don't think there's any reason to not have him in close to 100% of lineups tonight. We know we've got to push our chips in and make some stands here. It'll be harder to get over the field on him. Clearly, I picked up his over on his assist prop. I wrote that up this morning. It was plus 100 at 5.5, and then 3 hours later, Halliburton got ruled out, and it's now 8.5 at minus 105 at most books. So he's still got to get 6, but I feel comfortable with that particular wager. On the other side, we have Holiday that was out or came up on the injury report with an illness. I looked at a couple clips of him taking some shots in warmups. I can't. Is he feeling good? Is it a sinus cold? Is it a rumbling? Is tumbly? I don't know. But it looks like he is going to play. But now we have the caveat of 7.5 point road favorites here for Boston. Do you shy away from anyone in particular here for any reason?
No, I mean, no, I don't see any reason like anyone you shy away from because of how the game's going to play out or anything like that. Indy's at home. They're fighting for their lives right now. So I expect a great effort from them here.
I mean, we've had some good games. Now they haven't necessarily been in the Eastern Conference, but we've had some good ones though. more consistently in the Western Conference. Not that that matters. It was just a little bit different matchups, but this is exciting. I mean, we get another wrinkle, another variable here. Producer Jacob feels that Boston is not going to lose another game, and he felt that way last week. So he's riding high right now. So we'll have to see what happens. And he means lose another game for the rest of the playoffs. So not quite the Moses Malone four, but 4 in this one, 4 in the next one. They're going to have themselves some rings. So it'll be a good time there. All right, so I think we're going to get the starting lineup here. So we'll see what happens. Let's see. While we're waiting for that to drop, and that'll give us...
Wow, you were right. You were right. Ben
Shepherd
will start for Tyrese Halliburton on Saturday. God damn it. I hate you, Matt.
Every now and then the old dog has a couple ideas. Well, we saw this one.
Doesn't even know what day it is. Talking about coming in for the injured Holiday. Now, of course, you get it right.
All right. Well, we'll see. We'll see here. Did you get? Oh, here we go. There is the official. So yes, news guy just dropped it in. It is Ben Shepherd going with the first 5 there. So it'll be Turner, Naismith, Nembhard, Shepherd, and Siakam. Again, the whole reason I mentioned that earlier was don't worry about TJ McConnell. He's still going to get his 28-ish minutes in this type of a situation, if not 30. He is 32 now. He's no longer really a spring chicken, but this could be just a chance to eat up the first 4 or 5 minutes with them hard resting, keeping some fresher legs with McConnell, because he'll be the guy in there for crunch time. If this is going to, or crucial moments while this is staying close. So I had a bit of an inkling, but no, it was back to when we saw Aaron Holiday, Mr. Empty Stats himself, or empty minutes himself, get a few starts over the years there for various reasons for the Pacers. So no complete shock there for Shepherd. We'll see what do you think for Shepherd? 17 minutes, even as a starter, assuming no mop-up duty.
Yeah, I could see something like that. I mean, I think a lot of it depends on how he's playing, how the flow is with this lineup he's in. So somewhere around there seems right.
All right. So let's see here. I don't. Oh, we just got an update here. So let's take a peek here. So we have Shepherd. Okay, we have Shepherd in for 24.8 minutes, and then we have McConnell in for 30.6. So that feels reasonable. I guess I probably should have given Shepherd a couple more minutes, because he's a different way for me to have said it is he's picking up 12 to 16 minutes because Halliburton is out, and then I guess he was already sort of in the rotation for 8 to 10 minutes. So that makes sense to get him where he's at. So I don't think he is a super push your chips in to the middle of the table, but he is he is going to be one of the better point per dollar plays that we look at here. So it'll be fun to see what happens as we start to build out lineups, which now that we have that information, we are going to, I don't think we got Boston. We're just going to assume Boston's going to go with the huge.
Boston's came out. I think it is the huge.
Okay. So what do you do differently with Shepherd? And I
don't think much.
The secret in all of this is Nembhard. He's the guy I want to get to.
Yeah, I like both of them still. For me, I think you said it best. Like, Shepherd looks like a very good points per dollar play. Just not sure you need it on this slate. Like, there's already other cheap guys to get to. With Luke Cornett out, you've got some guys in Boston to look at. And the mid-tier is good. So I just don't know how much you need Shepherd. Certainly he's viable, though, because he's starting and he's very cheap.
Okay, let's talk about the Luke Cornett being out. So he injured his wrist, so he's out. Al Horford in the last game played just 25 minutes. He actually lost time per se, or was replaced by O'Shea Brissett in the third quarter. We saw Cornett come in for his usual 5 minutes there in the first quarter for Horford, and then Sam Hauser saw fourth quarter run. Now, Scotia, that was before mop-up duty as well. So the expectation would be that Brissett and Hauser are going to pick up those minutes. Both of them have mop-up duty potential. Brissett has only played I think this will be his sixth, if he sees the court tonight, will be his sixth game of the postseason, maybe his seventh. So he hasn't played a ton. Hashtag revenge narrative, familiar with the shooting background in Indiana, et cetera, et cetera. But there is a little more value today than totally expected with the Halliburton news. Do you like any of the Boston guys? Brissett, Hauser, perhaps a Peyton Pritchard?
So I kind of do, in the sense that I think these guys are going to be lower owned than the indie pieces, specifically Brissett. I think that there's certainly a lot of risk here. They could go to a number of different guys, but I do think his upside is real in this spot. Big athletic guys against Indy has been a thing since the Stone Ages, it seems. And Brissett is active. So again, we don't know he's going to play. We don't know how many minutes he's going to play, but I think he sees a little bit of time, and depending on how he does in that time, could see even a little bit more time. So I'm interested in him. I think that Shepherd looks better on paper, but will also be higher owned.
All right. Sorry, folks. My computer just hit a little bit of a glitch. Hopefully it will come back. Playback could be down there. Not sure. In any stretch, the imagination here, I'm going to keep playback up just to see if it comes on. But I can tell you it will be on when we move over there for the actual game in play. That is what we've been doing all postseason here and part of the regular season. So I'll drop that link there into chat. We'll get that squared away and be showing the game over there. It looks like it's popped back up here. So producer Jacob is putting in some display screens here. It's holiday weekend, probably the intern over there at Playback that needed to connect the wires was not quite sure of what they were doing. So it looks like we're back over there. I want to remind everybody real quick, as we have 18 minutes before tip-off, or pardon me, before lock, probably about 22 minutes before tip-off. They've been actually prompt the last couple nights here for the games instead of dilly-dallying, but we do have Better is the presenting sponsor of the show. The key things you need to know there: one, you have to come in with the promo code, not the link, the promo code Stochastic1. That is Stochastic and the number 1. If you do that, they will match your first deposit up to $500. It works on that promo code. You don't want to muck around with the other stuff. I'm going to get back here into Playback myself. We'll get Matt in there. It looks like there was a little glitch, but there's no glitches over there on Better. You can play that download that on any mobile device. It should be available in the majority of states that do not have sports wagering here. All righty. Let's see. It looks like it's limping along, Jacob, but I'm trying to join here. So who do you like at the top here? Is this Tatum? Are we going with Jaylen Brown, who's coming off a 40-point game, and as well as being a key in that overtime, being what is the word? Sniped for not making the All NBA team, first, second, or third team there, snubbed. Is he the guy? Is it Tatum? Do you look to Pascal Siakam, everybody's favorite Cameroonian, now that Luke Richard Mbah-a-Moute is out of the league? What do you like here?
Great segue. Yeah, I like Tatum and Siakam both a lot here for different and the same reasons all in one. Tatum, I think that he's heard a lot of the noise, and this is a real good opportunity for him to silence some of that noise. Jaylen Brown coming off that massive game. I think this is Tatum's game tonight, especially on the road. But I think I like Siakam even a little bit more for the price discount. Just going to have the ball in his hands so much more without Halliburton in play. And I know that their offense isn't going to be as good without Halliburton. Probably don't have as many possessions, etc. But it's a showdown slate. So it's not like we're competing with 10 other games here. I think it just makes Siakam look a lot better. Ball going to be in his hands a lot. It's easy to fit basically whoever you want. But of the 9K and above players, Tatum, Siakam, Brown, I view them in that order. And we have Siakam projecting for even more fantasy points than Brown at a lower price point. So good to see it. I see things eye to eye with the tools.
So we're see tons and tons of ties at the top of the leaderboard here. What do you think is a good differentiation spot for you for this? Is there
I
any
think
players?
Brissett is a really good differentiator here. Especially now with Shepard in the starting lineup. I can't imagine that Brissett's ownership is going to be high at all. I'm updating it now to see if we've gotten anything. We haven't, but he projects for 1% ownership. And again, maybe the game gets weird. Boston's very thin in the front court. Ben Shepard's projecting for 20% ownership. O'Shea Brissett for 1. Like, I don't know. I don't think that I don't think Shepard beats Brissett, 20 like 20 times the amount of times here. So give me Brissett as a differentiator.
All right. I do want to call out for those of you that are looking to make some quick bucks. You can take on Team Free Money there in the DK lobby. Just a buck head to head for Showdown, head to head also for the 2-game classic slate. I have been just handing out dollar bills for the last week and a half. I won 3 of my 30 line head to heads last night. So come grab those, username EMac, because yes, I have been around forever. No caveats. I can play whoever I want in the captain. Last night I said I wouldn't play Luca. I need to start winning before I'm going to start handicapping myself again. So we'll see what happens there. I like to call it on Brissett. We did get we got the update of the player projections just a couple minutes ago. Let's see, and we just got the ownership just popped up as well. It does look like on DraftKings, the popular player of the day is going to be Tatum at about 84%, Pascal Siakam at 70%. This is combined captain and utility spot. McConnell is going to be third over on FanDuel. It is Tatum, Siakam, Brown, and then McConnell. You're right. Brissett is not really popping up at all. 2% on FanDuel, 1% on DraftKings. So there is your way to get a little bit unique. What is a plausible, unexpected game script here for you? Because you like the feisty aspect. What's it going to take for the Pacers to keep this one close? How do you see that playing out for people that?
I'm glad you asked that, because I think that, you just asked me about differentiators as far as players go. I think you can do that, but you can also get different in how you build. And I like playing a lot of the Indiana pieces, like lineups that are all Indiana and then running it back with Tatum. Again, you obviously have to roster one player from Boston. I'm not going to be the only one that plays like that, but most people are going to play Boston heavy. They're big favorites on the road. No Halliburton. A lot of people are expecting a blowout here. I'm kind of playing it the other way. I don't think Indiana blows out Boston, but I think they're definitely in this game. And it wouldn't be the first time a team got up for a game without their best player. It happens in pro sports literally all the time. Most often when like a quarterback is out, you see that first week, team gets up, they play decent. Next week, it kind of falls off after that. See the same thing in the NBA. So yeah, the stakes are about as high as they get. You wouldn't expect a team to quote unquote relax like if they're in Boston's shoes, but they're only human. So I'm sure they're thinking that this is going to be an easier game because no Halliburton. So I think we can take advantage of that. I like the scripts where Indy keeps this game competitive.
So to that point there, we got to keep remembering, Halliburton potentially under the weather. Obviously, Cornette out. No Kristaps Porzingis. There's a chance he comes if they're up. I don't think they bring him back till the finals. In this one, he was slated to maybe make it back for game 2. Now they're saying maybe game 5. So who knows what's up with that? But at this point, he's someone they're going to need in the finals if they do get that far. So I don't anticipate seeing him, or pardon me, that doesn't really impact tonight, but I don't anticipate seeing him this series. So fades, what do you, amongst the most popular players, who do you think has the most fragile chance, or who do you think has the best chance of stumbling at this point? Because the most popular guys are there for a reason.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm going to say most popular is like 40 and above. I'm going to say Nemhard. I like him a lot. Don't get me wrong. But I like McConnell more, even not starting. Like when they're sharing the floor, McConnell's going to have the ball in his hands the majority of the time. So if I had to get rid of one of these guys, and first off, I already said the high price guy would be Jaylen Brown. If you're asking me like another guy, it'd be Nemhard. But ultimately, my answer is Jaylen Brown. Like I think he's the best fade on the slate.
All right. Oh, this is interesting. I'm trying to goose Mr. O'Shea Burchett here to get him a little more into my lineup. So let's see what I need to do to force that, because I think that is a way to get a little bit different here. But I'm not as good as doing that on the Sims yet. This was an unexpected moment that I have here, and I can see the Sims are not doing well with my camera. Now I feel like I am Eric Lindquist, who is always dealing with some sort of technical difficulty when he's running Sims here. That'll give me a quick second to talk about the stochastic sister site Odd Shopper. We have that available for $49.95 per week, $49.95 per month. A lot of good wagers pop up there throughout the day by using the market-based approach, by using the books against each other to find that best value. That is a key for that one. So let's see. Do we have any questions popping up tonight here? Nothing crazy yet. Some people ask, TJ McConnell projection. So let's see what we have for his points. McConnell is coming in with 33 DK points in 27.7. The Horford over for 7.5 rebounds. I did not go that route. I think if you want to take, I was making some parlays pregame here, and I was taking Peyton Pritchard over points plus assists, Nembhard over points plus assists, and putting that together with McConnell, points, rebounds, and assists, as well as going with the Boston win and the money line and the Boston point spread win. So we'll have to see how that plays out. If you were throwing down any wagers, what would you go with, man?
It's got to be all Indiana for me. Indiana, the points, money line, like nothing but upside there. I think there's a real shot they steal this game. Boston gets complacent. Should have lost game one. Boston should win this series 4-0 without any problems. But what should happen and what will happen are two different things. And if Indy's going to take one, it's tonight. So give me the Indy side. I'm not wagering on it. I don't feel as confident about it. But if I were, that's the side I'd be on.
All right, that makes a lot of sense here. Let me get these set of lineups uploaded here. Asking about any love for Hauser or Toppin. I would prefer Toppin over Hauser. The thing about Hauser is he typically doesn't look for his shots, and that changes a little bit when there is mop-up duty, but when he is on the court, he is usually on the court with the other top-notch players, so he has been content to just really not do anything. Last night he was the prior game he was 1 for 5. He missed all 4 of his three-pointers. He made a 2-pointer there, but he is someone that's only taken a shot or 2 in a lot of the games, so he really needs to get there in mop-up duty. As far as Toppin, he does have a regular role in the rotation. He does have nice defensive stat potential. And in this type of all hands on deck game, we could see him in there coming in and out quickly for Turner or Siakam as an energy guy, which would not be a shock for me to see him come in and just be like, okay, buddy, goes balls to the walls for 4 minutes, just be all over the court and then get back off to the bench. That I think could be a potential for him to get additional minutes. I am potentially wish casting on that one, but it does feel relatively reasonable. Would you play Nembhard as the captain? I have zero issue with that at all. Team Free Money is going with McConnell at captain, but I made sure to build my lineups to get Nembhard in there. That is something I think is very important. We talked about his assist rate essentially doubling when he is off the court, or pardon me, when Halliburton is off the court. So that is something I wanted to make sure I have well represented in my lineups here. How do you feel about a Nemhard captain spot here?
I don't love it, but I think it's more pertinent. I touched on the question before. Like, yeah, obviously you play Toppin over Hauser, but they're completely different plays. Like, one of them's Toppin's double the price and 30% owned. Hauser is half the price and 4% owned. So you can't really, it's not like a Toppin or Hauser type thing for me. I don't really see how it could ever be that. They're completely different plays at completely different price points. I'm not sure how they're correlated.
Right. We have, oh goodness, we have 4 minutes left. Odds of me getting my lineups in, probably not very good. So shame on me for not doing this, but those are the breaks of the game. So I could be running a very expensive train lineup there. So I am going to be asking the gods to smile upon me and give me some good lineups here, because I'm really only going to have one run at this. So that is the challenge. That is why you guys want to watch this show, is to see what happens here when your old pal gets in over his skis and gets a little bit of panic going on. So I am going to bump a little bit of Brissett here and see if I get him by forcing it in, and we'll see. This is it. This is the gods must be crazy situation. Matt secretly laughing here, going, I haven't seen this happen with EMac, because normally this is a Sunday Night Football last minute news changer, etc. We do a lot of baseball together. In baseball, we generally know what's going to happen, but basketball, things get a little different, even in the playoffs. I want to remind everybody, we do have 2 shows tomorrow. We will have the MLB Live Before Lock. That will be at noon tomorrow. Remember, there is a 11:05 game. They are back to what last year was the games on Peacock. Those are now on Roku. So that is important to remember, that if you are doing season-long stuff, your things will lock. You are not doing your pickups early. Man, I'm only getting 3% per set.
Wait, but here's my question though for tomorrow.
Yes.
So the Roku game is Toronto at Detroit. That is at 11:35.
Yes.
And there is a 12:10 game between the Dodgers and the Reds. The next game isn't until 1:35. So are we on at 12:30? I would presume
we will start 1 hour before whenever those games start.
Yeah, so I would presume we're on at 12:30.
All right, last chance for me to get Brissett in here. I don't think it's going to work. I'm going to load whatever I've got, because hey, that's what we got to do here, and we ride. I have 3% Brissett. So be it. So be it. Because I would prefer not to run a single lineup. That's load, and there we go. So not a major meltdown, but not exactly how I wanted to spend $200. But those are the breaks, Matt. Those are the breaks, and this is a good.
I'm sure those are all in free tickets anyways. So,
well, no, the free tickets are saving up for the $1 million contest.
Oh Jesus!
So I'm hoping I can regain. I've spent about $500 to get 2,500 in tickets. So I'd like to at least cash out $1,000. That would make it worth my time of grinding all these damn little contests to get them. We'll see what happens. I haven't done this for a while. I do it usually for Best Ball, which, by the way, Stochastic has Best Ball content free. Check that out under the Best Ball tab on Stochastic. We are 1 minute away from tip-off here. I want to thank everybody for joining us on a Saturday night. Always interesting here. We've got to remember that it looks like this could sweep, so we're going to start losing days of having games. We're down to the last nitty gritty here before we get to the final. So enjoy these moments while you can. And be sure to hit the like button on the way out. You guys can follow Matt on Twitter over at Fantasy Tips Matt. You can find me at EMac DFS, and we will get that time updated for MLB Live Before Lock tomorrow. I'll get that set up tonight, but you can follow everything at stochastic_com. With that, gamers, good luck.